And we got Brias. Hey, Mag, how are you? Diana Boyd, thanks for that, Diana Boyd. Yes, check out a James Picture Cash Out hoodie on my merch link. It's usually in the videos. Um, God, it's so much fun. Olga's in the house. Olga, I always look at your food you post on your Facebook page. It's oh my God, so it always makes me hungry. I'll say that.
Morning,
Brias,
Olga.
yeah, thanks for coming in. We got a fun hour in store for you guys. Everybody knows who Gamblers Unknown is. Um, and behind us, he's got a huge Facebook following. He got the YouTube thing going on, and we'll get into all that later on. Let me get some stuff on the screen worked out. Here we go. How's everybody doing? Did everybody get that? And did you enjoy the extra hour of sleep, or does that really mess you up, Mike?
No, it's my dog woke me up at 5:45.
Which is
And
now 4:45, right?
oh no, it's 5:45.
Oh, okay.
Clock already went back. Then my damn neighbor. I got some people that live by me that should be living in the country. You know what I mean? Like
Oh my God.
6 o'clock in the morning, he's pressure washing his camper.
Oh my God. Well, here's the thing. Here's the contrast. I'm in San Diego. It's supposed to be like 75, 80 degrees. And here's Mike all bundled up in the Lake Superior area. What do you say, 39?
39, 40.
39 degrees today. So welcome in, everybody. We're going to get started here now. We got everybody joining. We got 13 in, and it's going to get growing here. Mag. Kino, what's up, Dino? Dino was last week's guest. Make sure you go check out that video. It was so much fun. Dean's a great guy. But today, we're working. And if you didn't know, it's Mike's birthday today. So everybody wish Mike a happy birthday today. 40-ish?
46.
46. Oh, my gosh. Well, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could take some time on your birthday to come out and hang out with us. All right, well, let's just get started. Everybody's joining the room. Poppy's in the house. Olga, there's David H. Key to Life. Mag. Olga. Thanks, Olga. All right, so it's Michael Klein.
Correct.
And you grew up in, and his notes were very specific. You grew up in Stevenson, Michigan, an hour north of Green Bay. And he caps, I'm not a Packers fan. So in honor, he's wearing an Eagles beanie up there, and in honor of Mike today, I wore Eagles green and black to support Mike and his Eagles. They're really good.
We're not as good as last year, but we're good.
They're good. You guys are good enough to win it all. Did you during the whole Donovan McNabb, Andy Reid, so many close calls with that team?
So many.
Yeah, you guys made the NFC Championship game 5 years running and just never could get over that hump.
Yeah, 3 years in a row, and then
yeah, it was 3. Yeah,
fourth one finally.
Yeah. Let's talk about your folks first. You had Doug's your dad, and he was a warehouseman.
Yeah, I worked at a grocery warehouse.
Really?
Loading trucks, semis, shit like that.
Yeah, because people are going to learn during this hour that it's a farming community, right? Everybody's kind of spread out, farming town.
Yeah.
And your mom Carol was a. Yeah, this is cool because this takes a special person to do this. Your mother.
Oh, I could do that.
Carol, she worked in the school system, but in special needs, learning disabled youth, which is a challenge.
Yeah, it was like preschool kid types.
Man, oh man. Yeah,
it's harder and
it makes it harder, and the specialty skills and how to.
I don't have the patience for that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It takes special people to do that. Some people can do it. What was life growing up in? Because you had 3 older brothers, and we'll get to your brothers in a second. What was life growing up in Stevenson with your parents? Mike, he did say, "I've got nothing to say." I'm like, "Come on, Mike, you got a lot to say."
There's nothing really to say. It was everybody lived in the country, and you found something to do. It's basically just hang out.
You said it's so funny in your notes. You said because you helped farm from 10 to 22 years old. You were on the farm working, right?
Yeah. Well, all my neighbors had farms, so you just worked at them.
Yeah, and he listed.
You didn't work at McDonald's or Burger King or a Kmart. You worked on a farm.
Right. He listed the 5 things to do. He goes, you listen to a lot of country music, you go farm, you go to a lot of bars, you go hunting and fishing, and that was the end of his list.
And I don't do bars. I don't hunt and fish, so I don't know.
Yeah. So let's bring up your brothers. You had 3 brothers, Doug, Ron, and Randy. And here's something I want you to talk about your brother Randy and his exploits because it's really, really cool.
Yeah, he moved out here a long time ago and moved to Charlotte first. Got a job with NASCAR Truck Series.
How do you just get a job in NASCAR?
I don't know. He just moved to Charlotte. Next thing I know, he's doing pit crew for Truck Series.
Wow.
And traveling the country doing that. Every week there are different racetracks, so he was all over. He did that probably 4 or 5 years, then he moved to Indianapolis and started working with like the Indy racing,
IndyCar racing.
IndyCar racing, and then did.
Now, was he on trackside doing like pit crew where you change the tires and gassing in 10 seconds or whatever it is?
Yeah, he did that for a couple of years, and then he didn't want to travel anymore because that's pretty demanding travel.
Yeah, week to week, you're in a different town.
Yep.
Because he had to go somewhat mechanically inclined. You don't just go become a mechanic on a pit crew.
Yeah, there's little racetracks around here.
Okay.
And growing up, he would help like race car drivers around here, so that's where he learned it from.
Wow.
But yeah,
and now you said he's in Formula One racing now, but he's in the administrative side, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
I can't imagine the travel because you said travel and logistics, which means.
Well, he doesn't have to travel much anymore. He just sits in Charlotte.
But he's organizing all the travel and logistics, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine because each individual organization is worth millions and millions of dollars with all the equipment and semi trucks, and you're dragging not just a race car, but a series of race cars. Because if one car crashes, you have a backup car and then a backup car.
Yeah, tens of millions of dollars there.
And getting all that, and it's all sponsored. And I'm not a race guy, unless it's got a horse with a number on his side or a dog with a number on his side. And the race lasts 2 minutes. Those guys race for 500-600 miles in a day. But the prep, we're just watching because Las Vegas is doing it for the first time, and they weren't. They're tearing. If you guys don't know, they're tearing out all the center divides in the middle of the strip and making that the main raceway. They shut down the Bellagio fountain. Oh my God! So there she is, Miranda, right there. A $10 super chat. Hey, Bubba, and happy birthday, Mike. Mr. Roper, she call you. Okay, you got to tell us about that. By the way, guys, it is Mike's birthday today, so make sure you wish him happy birthday today. He took time on his birthday to spend some time. Miranda, thank you so much for the super chat. I just told the story of Mike that I was Miranda's son's little league coach. I knew Miranda 20 years ago when her son was a little guy. Now we're friends through the whole YouTube thing. That's how small.
I can't read any of the chat. The chat is so janked up here.
Right. Oh, on the phone, you only get to see snippets because it goes by so fast. So I have my computer.
It's like I don't even. It's crazy. It's
I'll
like
keep
overlaid on top of each other every time.
Exactly.
So I can read it.
Yeah. I think YouTube will get better and better at these things go, but I have my computer right next door so I can see it all and catch up. They're all saying happy birthday right now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. You said Halloween, you guys got a little bit of weather, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Nothing we're not used to.
That the first, yeah, of course, Lake Superior. How far are you from Canada?
How far am I from Canada? Well, if I went straight across the lake, probably 120 miles, 20, 30.
Wow, you are up there.
But it would probably be 2.5 hours if I had to take a car to the bridge like that way.
Okay. I have never experienced extreme weather one way or the other, heat or cold. I had 1 year as a third grader in Lake Tahoe area, and that's just the seasons, and it got in the 20s and snowed. But you and I chatted earlier this year when it was winter the previous, and I said, hey, what's it like there? It's about 65 degrees, and you're like, oh, that's -9. I'm like, what?
You don't really feel it. Once it gets down 25 below, that's when you really start feeling it.
You don't feel it at 19 below. I would be. But we talked, and you said you love the cold, preferred over the heat.
Yeah, I can't handle heat at all. So
wow.
Yeah, you can always put more clothes on. You can't always keep.
That's exactly. It's easier to sleep in the chill than it is in the warm in the blankets, and then you just got to throw everything off. Magmac says, "Yeah, we would be freezing," and then Roseanne says, "I hate the cold."
Magmac said they're bringing a camper up here.
What's that?
Magmac said they're going to go on a camping trip up here next summer.
Mag, you're going to do that? Well, you got to take pictures of that because I know you're doing road trips with Spanglish. I would love to see that road trip. 2 little city girls out there in the middle of Lake Superior, and Mike's got a wife beer on at the campfire, and you guys are bundled up with 3 winter coats. So, all right. So then, what do Doug and Ron do?
I don't really know. They just got jobs. I don't know what they do. I really don't talk to them too much, truthfully.
Okay. And then the way you met your wife, your wife's name is Kobe,
Yep.
not like Kobe Bryant, but Coby, Kobe.
Yep.
And tell me about the fourth grade with her, and you're in sixth.
Well, we met. In
It
the
sounds
fourth
like a funny.
couldn't stand each other. That's for sure.
That's what the note
I
said.
was, I
I
was in sixth
laughed.
grade. She
I
in
was
fourth
laughing.
grade. And her stepdad was in the Air Force, so they moved around a lot.
Mm.
Moved here, and so she got on the bus. She had this Southern accent, was just hilarious. So of course you're just going to make fun of somebody that's different, right?
Yeah, kids. That's what kids do.
And so that, yeah, and growing up in a small town, you know everybody basically forever.
Yeah, yeah.
And met up a couple years after high school, and the rest is a fairy tale.
So, did you laugh at each other and say, "Remember back in fourth and sixth grade when we used to hate each other? Now you're
Oh,
married."
she don't let me forget it. I mean,
It's
tells her
amazing. Those are
she's
the
got
little
these
things.
stories where she tells people I made her cry and stuff. I don't remember that. Not at all.
Yeah. Olga says that's hilarious. Yes. So it's those are the little things that make all this as you get old together, those are the funny stories because she'll needle you for that stuff till you're done, It's crazy.
For sure.
So what's Kobe do for a living?
She's a nurse at the veterans home here.
That's right. Your notes are so another specialty. So she was yes, she's met up after high school, married now 22 years. First of all, congratulations for that. And I love this because you're a Red Sox fan, you're an Eagles fan. That's what's cool because you're not just a hometown guy, right? Because you
Not,
say I'm not a Packers fan, even though you live an hour from that stadium, and I would imagine that whole area is Packer mania, right?
yeah, and where I grew up is 2 hours south of here, but I live 3 hours from Green Bay now. And so you get up this way, and it's a mix of Lions fans and Packer fans because
Mm,
we are Michigan up here, but we're closer to Green Bay,
got it.
and so you get a mix of them up here, the Lions and Packers. I don't mind the Lions, but I can't stand Packer fans.
He didn't say the Packers; he said Packer fans.
Yeah, they're horrible.
But what's cool is
This is the thing with Packer fans. You
okay.
never hear from a Packer fan unless they're winning or your team's losing.
Ah,
That's how they are. You know, damn cheeseheads.
so funny. But what's cool is I appreciate this is you're a huge Michigan Wolverines fan.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. When you in your notes, I love this for a fact. I had dinner with my wife at Barry's Steakhouse at Circa last year when Circa was taking care of me and my channel. And they were sponsoring me not sponsoring, but they were supporting my channel and stuff. So they sent us to dinner at the steakhouse, and you'll appreciate this. So we're down there at Barry's, and there's this big commotion, and down the stairs to the steakhouse comes Juwan Howard and the entire Michigan Wolverines basketball team.
Oh, and I was out there for that tournament.
Yes. Well, you were there that weekend.
No, I wasn't, but I.
Oh, yeah, they were there for the Vegas tournament.
Yeah.
So they were sitting 10 feet from my wife and I took a picture of Juwan Howard because if you guys don't know, he's one of the Michigan Fab Five back in the 80s with Chris Webber and Jalen Rose. And I love the fact that you named your son Jalen after Jalen Rose of that Fab Five team.
Yeah, we came to a compromise when we were trying to pick out a name. So.
Whoa, what were the other choices?
I really don't remember at the time.
Yeah.
But she went with Jalen. So
nice. Does he know the significance of that name?
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see it everywhere now. You watch it any sports game, and you're going to see a Jalen in there.
Yeah.
And you never heard that name in the '90s. Nothing until he came around, because he basically was the first one named Jalen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, Jalen's dad, Jalen Rose's dad was an NBA player.
Is that right?
Jimmy Walker. You remember him?
I remember Jimmy Walker. I didn't put two and two together.
Yeah, that was his dad.
Yeah. Becky A says, "Hey, Gamblers Unknown and James Mitchell catch up. Thanks for coming out, guys, today. Appreciate you so much." Becky A will get you back on. She was scheduled, but then her work schedule got all screwed up. Danny D, the super supporter. How are you, sweetheart? All right. You said one of your favorite vacations of all time, and I appreciate this because I think I did the exact same thing. Tell me about that. You went to Boston for
Yeah, that was the first year we were back together, basically in '99. And I said I wanted to go to Red Sox game. She's like, "Let's go." So we went.
Yeah.
drove out to Boston, which is like 18 hours from here,
Okay.
and just stayed downtown Boston. Watched a couple Red Sox games,
Isn't that a
which
cool place? Fenway's awesome.
amazing,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Tiny, was it 20? What, not maybe 30,000?
34,000, I think.
34,000? Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
that was
just
the
because they
first.
added the
That was the
seats,
first year they had seats above the Monster.
the monster.
Yeah, and it was right after they had the All Star game there. And yeah, we drove out there, watched 2 games, and on the way back, and she saw a sign for the Hall of Fame. And I was like, "Well, shit, we're out here, better go."
Right.
And that was super cool, walking around, seeing all the old stuff in there.
Yeah.
Just that little ass town that the Hall of Fame is in is crazy.
Yeah. Don't blink. If you're driving by, don't blink because it's past you.
Yeah, and then like getting there from the interstate, it says it's like 22 miles, but it's all like backwoods Amish country.
Oh,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
and the corners were crazy, so you're only going 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, we did that trip. My wife surprised me with a trip to New York. The Padres were playing the last series in interleague in the old Yankee Stadium. So we went. She flew me out. We went for one day. She flew me out in the morning. We stayed up all day. Went to the Padres Yankees in old Yankee Stadium. Didn't go to bed. Pizza, the whole thing. Walking the strip of downtown New York, which is amazing for my first time ever. And then the next day before our flight on the last, we took a late flight the next day. We went to all the MoMA, all the museums. We went and saw like the first half of the Knicks were playing the Nets at Madison Square Garden. Just crammed in so much stuff in less than 2 days. Didn't go to bed. Just slept on the plane home. And then the next year, the Padres were playing in the opening series in Citi Field against the Mets. So we got to see the old Yankee Stadium. We went to the opening game at Citi Field in New York. Crazy fun. And then the next day we went to Yankees Cleveland Indians in new Yankee Stadium. And then that was crazy. And we went to a game, the Yankees lost 22-4. And the Indians
Good.
scored 14 runs in the good. The Indians scored 14 runs in the second inning. And in New Yankee Stadium, behind home plate, each of their captain chairs with flip out legs, and they're expensive. They're $2,500 a seats. So by the second inning, all those folks left. Can you imagine paying $2,500 for a baseball game and you watched an inning and a half and left? But
No,
that's different.
no,
That's a different kind of reality with that kind of money.
yeah,
Um,
I guess.
so we asked the guy, "Hey, can we sit there? We're just here for one day." He's like, "Well, I would let you do it, but that guy sitting right there, he paid $2,500 for that seat. It would be I couldn't do it and let you sit there for free." And I go, "That makes total sense." So, but the next day we drove to Cooperstown because it was 2 years after Tony Gwynn got inducted, and Tony Gwynn was my guy. And but you're right. You drive and you drive and you drive and you drive and you drive, and there it is. And then you go through that monument. And what people don't understand is all the memorabilia is not on display. They only put out certain parts per each team, and they have a warehouse just stacked with stuff. So they kind of keep things fresh. If I remember right, they keep things. They rotate certain team stuff because on display at the time was Brian Giles with the Padres. We don't give a shit about Brian Giles, a local city, but his stuff was not that meaningful. I wanted to see all the Gwynn stuff. Who's your guy who's your Red Sox guy growing up?
Oh, too many
There's
of
so
them.
many. Yeah. I remember I remember in the 70s, Jim Rice was one of my guys. I thought he
Rice,
wore number.
Mike Evans in the '80s. Wade Boggs,
Oh
Clemens.
yeah. Yeah.
And the list goes on. Then you get to the '90s. It's really sad. Wakefield died there a couple weeks ago.
That's right. Yeah.
He was one of my favorite pitchers of all time, throwing that knuckleball. I just
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
It's like my family was huge into baseball. My grandpa could have pitched for the Pirates. They
That
offered him.
good.
Yeah, and like I'm a big guy. A lot of people don't make me look small. My grandpa made me look tiny. He was like 6'6", 350,
Yeah.
had the hugest hands I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
And he threw a knuckleball, and that was back in
Wow.
the '40s and stuff. But baseball didn't pay that much, in the minors then. He had 6 kids and a farm and stuff, and they kept trying to get him to come pitch, and he wouldn't, and never did.
Yeah. It's a small window. It's the 1% of the 1% that make it to that level, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. You got to be the elite of the elite. Well, let's get on to this. So they always make a big deal out of the Dave Roberts stealing second base and scoring down 3 games to none to the dreaded Yankees. And then you guys didn't lose another game.
Nope.
I mean, just those things don't when you're down 3-0. I think was that the first time in baseball that it had happened? They've done 3-0. and
First
then they
time.
won. First time in history of baseball, right?
History of baseball, basketball, anyone that has a series, it was the first time ever.
Ever.
3-0 and came back.
But not only that, you won 4 games straight against the Yankees, and then you won 4-0 in the World Series.
Correct. Yep.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Were you just peeing your pants when your team of all teams hadn't won a World Series since 1909 or some ridiculous number, right?
1919 was it?
1919?
I don't know.
Something.
So.
I mean, I've never had it. I've said many times, these guys know, and my supporters, not one team I've ever cheered for in the major sports has ever won anything. And then the Aztecs made the national championship game last year in basketball, and I was like, oh my god, no, I don't know what it feels like to win a championship.
Oh, when my Eagles won the Super Bowl, I had some tears, man. That was something there.
Yeah. But the Red Sox too, and then they won it like twice since then. But they were good for a nice little run.
2007, 2012, or 13.
They all know. Yeah. All right, so now getting into your history, are you the Carl Spackler of the Marquette Golf Club area?
I am.
If you guys understand the reference to Carl Spackler was the ground assistant greenskeeper on Caddyshack. You're looking at Carl Spackler right there in his big winter coat. Hilarious. Talk about your golf club experience.
I wouldn't say it's experience, but it was an experience. We moved up here so she could go to school for nursing.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I got to find a job real quick. So I went over to the golf course because it's just like farming, right?
Yeah. Oh, my God. That makes total sense.
And so I went over there and they're like, well, we're building a new course. And the guy there really liked me because I can drive anything with wheels or not.
Yeah.
And so I worked for him for 2 years building the course, and it's a top 100 course in the country.
That's saying something because there's a million golf courses in this country. You're top 100.
In a little old place like up here, where the golf season is basically 5-6 months.
Right.
But it's got just beautiful views from up there over the lake, and there's huge granite rocks, sticking out all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. We've had people when I worked there. There was people that flew in all the way from Australia
to play.
Yeah. Their own plane flew all the way here to play it and then fly back.
That's awesome. It's called Gray Walls?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. I have to look that up. But as soon as you said the golf thing, I go, Carl Spackler. And I know you'd understand the reference. So. But you also,
out of nowhere.
Cinderella boy. Yeah. Anyway, but you made a reference that you said the Marquette area where you're at, and it used to be called Hockey Town.
Yeah, you remember Kraft used to have that, like, they might still do it, where they had like an online voting. And the first time they did it, it was for the original they wanted to see where the original hockey town in the country was. And so you voted for your town. Well, somehow this town got the most for hockey, votes.
Really?
And so they brought the Red Wings up here and somebody else. And they had a game at the little arena here. Because truthfully, this place is hockey. It's
Lake Superior College, they're big time. They've gone deep in the NCAA tournament multiple times, right?
Well, Lake Superior State, they're 2.5 hours east of me. This is northern Michigan here, and they've won it a couple times.
Wow!
And they basically played with the Big Ten teams because they were division. The college is Division II, but the hockey is Division I.
Yeah.
So it was like Minnesota, Duluth, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and a couple others now. It's called the WCHA. It's different. And then there's Michigan Tech. It's like an hour north of us. That's a school that's crazy. It's one of the top institutions in the country for engineering.
Wow.
And people come from all over the world to go to school there.
But they're a hockey club?
But their hockey team is really good too.
Wow. I would never know. You're in San Diego here, hockey. We played minor league hockey. We're a satellite of the Anaheim Ducks, but
anybody I know up here, I played men's hockey. I played hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I used to like going and watching the games. Hockey live is fun.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I don't like watching it on TV much.
Yeah. Rob Z's in the chat. He said, about to become the Masters champion. Rob Z's our guest next week. He has some funny stories, and we quote a lot of movies. Rob Z and I quote the movie Let It Ride unrelentingly. Him and I text often, and you know the movie Let It Ride with Richard Dreyfuss, and um,
Oh, I don't know that one.
it's an hilarious gambling movie about horse racing and just degenerate gamblers, and it's so funny, and it's all one
I'm gonna have
liners,
to
and
look that up. I like those kind of movies.
it's hilarious. It's from the early '80s or late '70s, and it's all about these guys who never win, and then the good Lord shines down, and one day he's praying at the shitter commode in the bathroom. Can I just have? Can I just have one day? And then he has the day, but all it's just hilarious. You got to watch it.
I
Um,
don't think the heavy stuff's coming down for a while.
Hey there, Varmint Kong. Oh my God! But you guys, you're also famous. That area is also it's the biggest wooden dome in the world. It's an arena, but it's made out of wood.
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest.
I never even heard of domes that are made out of wood that are still
Well, the inside is all like a wood structure,
yeah, like a cabin kind of thing, right?
and it's just got the normal dome over the top.
Yeah, but it didn't originally have the original. Oh, it does still look wood from the facade outside.
No, you can't see any wood from outside
Okay,
except like around the doors because they got to make like
got
these.
it,
So because the snow is gonna fall off the dome, it comes
got
rushing
it.
off the dome. So you
Yeah,
got to protect around the doors and stuff.
yeah.
But the inside is pretty. It's really cool inside when you look up.
Must be it's a fun place to watch a game.
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't think I've watched a football game in there usually. 'Cause well, yeah, I have. I've watched some high school games in there because now, like they do like high school playoffs in there. Because
Okay,
up here, you start getting into October, November in high school playoffs. You don't know what kind of weather you're playing in.
yeah.
So a lot of
Um,
times they do it in the dome now.
John Graham with a $5 super chat. Awesome, you bring Keener Nation to life. I appreciate you, John, so much. You know, John's gone out of his way, and I'll tell you this funny story, Mike. You'll appreciate this. Is I'm planning going to Buffalo, New York, because I'm a chicken wing fanatic, right? And in Labor Day weekend every year in Buffalo, they have the Chicken Wing Festival at Buffalo Stadium, and I'm going to go next year, and then cancel. John Graham, one of our viewers who I've never met in person, he was our guest on the show probably 3 months ago or so. He sent me a dry ice pack from the festival with 50 barbecue wings and 50 buffalo wings as just, hey, here's what you're missing out on. I mean, the impact that our viewers have on me, you know, I made so many friends to this, and I think you'll agree to this. You've made so many relationships through your YouTube and your Facebook media outlets. That's because you become quite thing, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But the friendships that you've developed through all these social media things, because here you are way up there in a small town, but your name is out there and people know who you are, and that's why I'm so glad to have you on a guest, because now they can meet the man behind all the social media stuff.
Yeah, it's humbling. You're like,
It is
look at
humbling.
me from here.
Yeah, it's so humbling. I mean, we're hosting an event. I mean, we started, five of us knuckleheads and our wives met in June of 2021 at the Wynn for just to meet up, and we called it Keno Nation 1. And then now we're at Keno Nation 6. We put out a blurb on Thursday 4 days ago, and we're capping it at 150, not channels, but our viewers are coming out. We've already had close to 100 RSVPs in 5 days, and it's not even until March.
Wow.
It's just the support
And
from
that
people
that
like
blows
John.
me away.
Yeah,
For Keno.
right. Right, right. And here's another thing you'll appreciate too, or you'll go, wow. So I do predominantly 99% of my content is Keno. And then during that COVID Keno boom when everything was kind of going up, and you understand that, it's kind of leveled off and kind of the views are going, because you mentioned your notes, there's so many channels now that people go to. It is hard to succeed in this day and age. You may want to choose it to be fun more so than your avenue to make revenue. But right, I had a Keno hand pay video that got put out on the morning of whatever 3 weeks ago, and right now it's approaching 600 views. 600 views, and I made like $5,000. That afternoon, I went and played at Verona, and I did a short on the 100 play video poker machine, and I got dealt. What I got? No, I got dealt four kings, and I played it out. That video, it's 49 seconds long, 50,000 views. The video poker world is, I'm not downplaying my Keno because I love the Keno crowd, but the views on the Keno crowd are here, and the views of the video poker is up here, and I'm blown away by I mean, 50,000 views, and that like the first day alone, I had like 100 views on my Keno hand pay. And but the first day alone, 2,000, and the next day 5,000, 10,000. It exploded. I'm like, wow, maybe we should switch all to video poker because if you want to make money, you know, because. But I'm having. I just this is what I do, and I'm in your world. I'm not here to make a living at this. I'm just here to have fun. On my thing now with the interviews, I'm meeting people like yourself. I've talked to you on the phone probably a dozen times in the last year, right?
Easy.
I'm he's right, and the impact, because Mike, if you guys don't know, we'll talk about it. Mike, this is what he does for a living. He does social media and YouTube and Facebook and stuff. We'll talk about that in a second, but that's what he does. I work for a living. I do this as the fun part of my life. So we're going to get into that right now. Um, where am I at in my notes? Okay. First of all, what led you to do YouTube?
Not having anything else to do.
You kept downplaying your notes, like I was just bored. But you said, and you owed some guy named John. Your friend John said, "You know what? You should do this."
Yeah. Well, let's go all the way back. So I'll just start.
Okay.
I'll just tell the story. In 2019, we went to Vegas, and I told her before we left I wasn't feeling very good. I hadn't been feeling good. We get to Vegas, walk
That's
around.
right.
We were doing 10, 15 miles a day walking. Just getting wore out. And that one morning, it was the fourth day we were there. We were walking across the strip, and it felt like I got hit by a truck. Like it's like my body just shut down. It's like I told her, I said, I am not well. We got back to the room. She had to call the ambulance. I couldn't stop shaking. It was just weird. It was so weird. I was so weak, weird, and everything. So they come up, get me, bring me down back elevators. We go in the ambulance, sat at the emergency room all day. They couldn't tell us nothing. And I was feeling better by then. So then the next 2 days, we just kind of took it easy.
Yeah.
Flew home, and I just wasn't right. I could tell. You can just tell when there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Not like you used to be. And so I worked that whole year, and I just told her, I was telling her all the time, I'm not right. There's something wrong. And then that following in 2020, right around when COVID started, is when I started getting really bad to where like I couldn't do much. I was just laying down all day. It just really hit me. And so I had to quit working and stuff. And then trying to figure it out was harder than hell with COVID because you could barely get a doctor's appointment.
Right.
Everything shut down and stuff like that.
Makes total sense.
And we went down to University of Michigan. They kind of had a couple ideas, nothing major. And she was looking around one day, and she'd look through my labs and stuff because she's medical. She knows what she's looking at. And she's like, I wonder if it's this. And so we called my doctor and started looking at it, taking labs, and like, yeah, it's called hyperparathyroidism. You have
Wow, there's a word.
Everybody thinks you're thyroid.
Yeah.
You have 4 little glands around your thyroid that control calcium and vitamin D in your body. And all 4 of mine went bad.
All 4 of them.
All 4 of them. And it's not something you can really, I don't know, like they look for because it's not normal, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen a lot. And you just have to keep piecing labs together to like see the numbers and how they interact with each other. And then finally, the doctor at U of M said, yeah, pretty sure this is what you have. And so I had surgery for it. But I'm better than when I had the surgery, but I'm still nowhere close to where I was before that. I still got a lot of.
So as a human body, do you need these nodes or whatever you call them, glands?
You need a piece of them. So they took out 3.5 of mine.
Oh my gosh!
They keep a piece, so to me, I don't think it works all the time. I think it works some of the time, and then it doesn't work. But there's a lot of good days, a lot of bad days.
So I would imagine that one node that's left is working its butt off to keep up with. He's supposed to be 1 of 4. Now he's 1 of 1.
Yeah, I really don't know how it all works, truthfully, but
wow.
But
wow.
So I just deal with it. And everybody asks me, why don't you go to Vegas? Why don't you go to Vegas? It's because I can't handle Vegas right now. It just would wear me out. And if I do too much, I get wore out. Then it makes it like worse.
Vin Julian says her thyroid was radiated in 1991, multiple tumors. Man, tough break, Vin Julian. Miranda from SoCal Slots. I never would have met Mike from Gamblers Unknown had it not been for me. the short story, guys, is I was a little
Yeah.
league coach back in the San Diego area here, and SoCal Slots, she's Miranda. I was her son's little league coach 20 years ago, and she saw me do something and goes, "Isn't that, honey? Isn't that the guy from Little League?" And she left me a Facebook messenger. "Are you Bubba?" And yeah. "Are you Bubba from Elko National Little League?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Hey, I want to do this. I go, the guy to reach out to is get a hold of Mike from Gamblers Unknown, and he'll set you up with a logo, and he's very creative." And so, so you morphed from not going to Vegas. You got health problems, and now you started on YouTube, correct?
Started on YouTube. Well, John kept telling me, "You're just laying around doing nothing. Start it up. Start it up." He's like, and he was just on me all the time, So I finally did it just to shut him up. And then I
Right.
started like having fun with it, because we used to watch YouTube videos all the time. We used to watch, Angie and them. Like it was what 2012, I think, was the first time she ever saw a low roller video. She's like, "Look at this. He's playing beer mug on YouTube." I was like, "No
Right.
way."
Right.
And so we asked out at our casino if we could do that back then, and they're like, "You can't even take a picture in here."
No,
Like,
exactly.
come on, you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, I think the original guys started. They were sneaking the videos. They didn't have permission. They were just doing it until they got moved. Or you can't film here. You can't film here.
well, a lot
You're
of
right.
them, I guess they didn't really care back then,
Yeah,
2010 and stuff. They didn't mind, but now it's crazy how
permissions.
some will let you, some won't, But
Right. My viewers know my story. My local is 10 minutes away. I had permission, and I was filming there. I did my first 3 live streams from there, and then they changed the gaming officials. Some guy got promoted somewhere else, and this guy rolls in, and I'm filming live, and I get surrounded by 7 security guards. From, "Hey, how you doing,
yeah,
Bob?"
I
I'm
was
like, "Oh,"
watching that one.
and I'm like, you were on it." And I'm like, "What's up, guys?" "Hey, they want you to stop." I go, "Stop? I have permission." And he's like, "Yeah, he wants you to stop." And I go, it's like, "Hey, thanks for watching." And they banned me for a month, and then they banned me for lifetime, and then they just reinstated me. And I have a friend in the industry that works there now, and say, "Hey, I got this notice that said I'm okay to play." And it says, "Well, let me pull you up." And she pulled me up. It says, "Keep an eye on this guy. He likes to film." I go, "I'm never coming back." I'm like,
No,
"I'm never coming back." And I'm the only guy that was filming there. And I go, "Guys, I'm giving you free advertising. I say your name over and over and over during the live streams. And yeah, it's not in the best interest." I go, "You are missing out." So I don't go. It's 10 minutes from my house, and I don't go.
that's
So anyway,
we won't go to one where we can't film now either. So we have a bigger one. I don't know, 2,000, 2,500 slot machines, like an hour away
yeah,
from us. But we won't go down there because they won't let us film. If we're going to spend money, we need to make videos.
right, right.
It's the way it's
So
going.
you film it YouTube, you've added the Facebook, but when did the creative little, because you've created logos for multiple channels in the creative side, you're an advice guy and people have reached out to you. And when did you get the creative side with the I call them the cartoon logos of the faces?
I don't know. I just when I started doing mine, like this isn't hard. I started using Canva, started using other apps, and you just put the pieces together.
You see, you're so humble. You make it down. It's not something that everybody does. You know what I'm saying? Um, I remember when Lolo, one of your original people, you said, I think you said your
Oh, she
favorite
was the
logo.
original cartoon head. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I'm pretty sure you did Miranda's, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and
Let's be honest. She did a lot of hers. I just made it look good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's a spunky, high energy, friendly, person. And you see her if you go to her, make sure you go to her SoCal Slots too. And then Vanessa from Spanglish Slots, the same thing, just high energy and just friendly to be around. And um, but I remember talking to you, and you said, "Hey, Bubba, you may want to consider doing this." You still do the YouTube stuff, but you said most of your views are on the Facebook side. Is that correct?
Yeah, by far. Yeah. Well,
What was
look at YouTube. You can find how many new channels a day if you just flip through slot videos. You're gonna see
Yeah,
because people don't know. They really don't know. I get messages all the time. Like people want to start a slot channel. They want to start a slot channel. They think I get paid by a casino to play, which is the farthest from the truth.
correct,
Like,
correct,
nope, not me. Sorry. But they don't know. They think there's 10 slot channels. That's all they think because that's all they see. Because that's all platforms will push out. They're pushing out the top 1% basically
correct.
to
Yeah,
people. So they don't know about all these, hundreds and hundreds of other small channels. So
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, I can do this. I can make money like they're doing it." Like when you get Raja and Lady Luck and stuff showing how much they make. That's absolutely insane. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be telling people, giving
Yeah.
them false hope without telling them the backstory of, how long you've been doing it, how many videos you have out there, and you're the 1%,
Right.
telling them how many people are doing it. I make decent money, but it's nothing like them. And I know a lot of people that would love to be making what I make. You
Right.
see a lot of
Right.
people that don't, they don't get the views, so they're done in 6 months because they started, they put a ton of it into it, they get 100 views a video, and they're like, "Well, this is bullshit. I'm done." And
Right.
you see it so often. It's just because
Often.
people don't know. And I
Yeah.
think, when channels are, and I understand why they do it. They're always like in their lives, somebody says, "Oh, start a channel, start a channel." You're doing it to keep these people coming back to you because you were nice and told them start a channel. But tell them the reality of it, that thousands try, thousands fail because there is no views.
Yes.
There is not much money in it.
Yeah.
Unless you have a big following and you're getting a million views, and you're not going to make money on this venture. You're going to lose money consistently.
Yeah. I remember when Lady Luck HQ started, she was like us. She was a $2 to $5 better. And she, hey, send in your pictures and we'll talk about you. And it's $2 a whack and all these other things.
Which
And
was
her,
genius.
which is genius. That's how you think if you want to get your viewers buy-in, and
They have to be relatable. They have,
yeah,
you have to be able to relate to them.
yeah,
That's what I think
um,
I've done on Facebook is I started that group. I did it. I could see how it was going on YouTube. I saw it. I talked to Rhino Man, Jackpot Joe, so many others. Everybody bitching they weren't getting views, and like, well, this isn't going to work. So I found a way to make it work because no one could get. It's hard to get eyes on you. So I made that group on Facebook. So I had a place to put my videos in so people would see it, and
what
that's what really propelled us on
yeah,
Facebook.
name the group.
Major Chasers.
Major Chases. I'll let you know right now. My wife won one of your shirts. One of at the Everyone Slots event at Harris, Southern California. Kristen Liu had the shirt for whoever hit the major. My wife, we had 30 slot channels in a weekend. One major was hit. It was my wife. That's gambling. We're all there to try for these majors, this and that. One person hit it one time, and we gambled for 2 days. That's how hard it is. I
Well,
remember
there you go.
earlier this year, my wife and I went on a long, 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 long losing streak. We didn't hit anything for 4 months. And I'm like going, man, I don't know if I can keep doing this because we're trying to. And I've asked this question to my viewers before. Um, do you guys want to see the losing ones? Because that's all I have right now. And people say, no, we just want to see you play. Okay, great. Thank you. Because I can keep putting content. But I lost for 4 months. And I feel weird putting out stuff where I lose but it is the reality, right? And
You
then
can
we got
ask
back.
people all you want if they want to see the losing stuff, and you'll get people, yeah, show your losers. But as soon as you put it up, you're gonna get.
Nobody watches.
Oh, they'll watch, but then they'll give it an angry face, or they'll leave you this nasty comment. And it's like, it hurts you more than it helps you. And so I'm sick of hearing people say post your losses. We're slot channels. We all know we lose.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
knows we lose.
Oh, we lose.
75%, 80% of the time.
Yes.
That's reality. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. And then the crate we get back from our trip in the end of July, and in the month of August, Mike, I couldn't lose. We went 10 straight visits, and this is including 10 straight visits. I hit a hand pay or more. Most of the time, there was 2 or 3 hand pays. And in the middle of that, Ellen hits nearly a $21,000 grand on a $2.50 bet. So for the month of August, and we won about $50,000. We were even for the year. We were down 50. We were down $50,000 gambling, and then we got back. Behind the scenes, you got to do your math, make sure you're budgeting and taxing all your stuff and this and that. But we didn't even get ahead. Like, oh my God, thank God we can pay that back off again. And once you hit the 21,000, we all have our budgets, but we paid our sons' tuitions because they're good kids, and we owed that to them because they represent our family when they're doing their public life. So we were able to pay the last $17,000 of my son's college tuition off. And what a great feeling that was. So my son graduated with no debt because we owned it, but we were out one push of a button turned into paying off the last 17,000. So I still have a blast doing it. But I'm having more fun doing this and meeting you and talking to folks like Miranda and Becky A is going to be on and meeting all my viewers because these events that we've hosted, it went from 9 people to 15 people to 27 people to 50. We now have 150, 10 of us, 10 of them are us, the channels, the 5 Kino channels, but 140 people who are people who take the time out of their day to drop super chats and watch us for an hour during this interview or meeting us there's nothing more fun. I'm sitting on the slot machine. I'm getting rid of the camera, and then a viewer will walk up. Hey, are you Bubba? Are you Bubba? And I go, yeah. Heather Olgo, how you doing? And I mean, the just
Isn't
I
that
don't want
fun?
to. It's so fun. And like when I say these guys, don't ever hesitate to walk up and say hi to us. You're not bothering us. You are not bothering us. We love meeting you guys, and I think you've had plenty of experiences. You're such an incognito guy, but you've had your moments, right? I'm assuming locally.
Well, maybe 3 or 4 times that's happened.
Only 3 or 4.
Yeah, like there's not many people that probably watch us around here because
Uh,
it's not a big area.
yeah.
There's small casinos. Well, the last time that we were live, we were over about 2.5 hours east of us. We went to some new casinos because I wanted to find that coin trio that buy a bonus.
Oh yeah. You've been killing those by a bonus. Well, at least the videos you've been putting out.
I love that game.
Yeah,
It's the most exciting thing in the casino right now.
because you're in a bonus right now.
And we were live, and the guy next to us like, "Hey, I watch you guys." They're like, "Oh, no shit." So
Isn't that
it's cool
awesome?
when somebody says
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And we had somebody like
Thank
right
you,
away
Chris.
almost telling us they watched this. They saw us on TikTok first, when you can still go live on TikTok.
Ah, no, I heard you. The word casino and gambling is a no there, and like slots of Ben was like exclusively TikTok. He's actually not even doing this anymore because he
Well,
went through a long losing streak, but TikTok kept kicking him off.
yeah. Well, last February, everybody was, it got to the point where, everybody was trying to say, quit doing these stupid group polls, quit having people send money, stop it. You're going to ruin it for everybody,
Yeah,
and then people don't listen because they were making $100 doing it. Like, yeah, woohoo.
yeah,
And then it all got shut down.
yeah. Olga Rosas with a $5 super chat. I love watching both of you guys. Olga, thank you so much. Those little gestures mean so much to us. It's just the support from all you guys is just amazing. And then a lot of your viewers, Mike, are watching here today, and they'll watch. I know when you put the link out, they'll watch how much of a humble, just a genuine guy you are. And that's the best part. Yeah, we're YouTubers, but we're just fun. We're doing this for
Yeah,
fun.
you're just normal people.
Yeah, yeah. And
Not like
you
I'm some freaking celebrity or something.
well, in your little window, you are this little window of Mike Gamers Unknown.
I mean, think about it. My neighbors don't even know what kind of celebrity they're living next to. Right?
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. But you mentioned, you in your notes, you mentioned your friendships. Lolo, Mr. Handpage seems like he's a rich guy, construction company owner. He seems like a pretty normal guy.
Yeah, normal. Yeah,
Normal as rich guys are normal, right?
yeah. I mean, you can call him, talk to him, whatever. He calls
Yeah.
me, whatever.
I'm
We
so
help
blessed
each other
because
out.
he takes the time. He chats in my videos, and I go,
Yeah.
man, this guy bets $5,000 in 5 minutes, and he's here watching me play $2.50. But he seems like a normal guy.
Yeah.
You mentioned your relationship with Miranda and Vanessa from Spanglish, and I'll say it out loud. I think you say you're two of the best friends you've ever made, in this whole thing, let alone friendships in your life, which says a lot about Miranda and Vanessa themselves because they're great people. And
Don't forget Jackpot Joe.
Jackpot Joe, yeah.
I talk to
But
him daily. He's funny. He's such
and
a
then
funny guy.
Rhino Man was an influence on you earlier on. Yeah, but who else in there? And then Jeremy and Brazen. Jeremy and
Oh yeah.
Lorena. Great people. They're
Well,
good friends of ours too. They've showed up to the last 2 Kino Nation events, and every time I'm in Vegas, I
remember he
make sure.
started. It was me and you and maybe I think Sister Yoshi were the only ones in his live on Instagram.
Right. Yeah. He let me know. He says, Bubba, you were the first guy that chimed in. He was walking around Vegas for like half an hour. I was the only one for the whole time. So I made it a point. So I think his third one going, I went out there and I walked with him. And there was 3 people on, and I was with him, and I was one of the 3, and I sat right next to
I'm
him.
gonna do that one time. I promise.
Yeah, but now he's got a regular following on his Sundays and his Wednesday nights, Wandering Wednesdays and his Sunday nights, and it plays out to Miranda. You're not gonna, don't cry. Um, Mrs. Gambler's unknown. She's in the chat now. What's up, Kobe? She says, I'm not crying. You're crying. That's so fun. If you can leave us a note in the chat about any funny stories, we did go over the fact that you guys did not like each other at all when you were youngsters, and that's
she's been
hilarious.
watching, James. She's been watching.
Oh my gosh, so funny. I got more notes here. Let's see. I got the back of notes here. Oh yeah. So think about it. You mentioned Vegas Low Roller. I read the other day, about a month ago, he is, even with all the NGs and the handpins and Mr. Jackpots, all these big guys, he's the most viewed YouTube channel in the slot world. There's a lot of YouTube that is, but
Actually, no, he's this last month. If you go by the stats, it was Vegas Matt, then Mr. Handpay, then LL, and then Pompsy, and I think it was Low Roller was fifth.
Wow. Vegas Matt, he's hilarious. Brian and Michelle,
and he changed how people watch slots.
right? They're short, all shorts.
Well, not really. No, he does longer videos.
Okay,
but the shorts were grabbed everybody standing next to the machine.
Right. Hey, we're in for 5,000. We're gonna take one spin for 5,000.
Yeah, no one did that before. Everybody was just pointed the camera right at the screen, talk behind it.
Yeah.
He changed how it worked.
He almost introduces, hey, we're gonna put, it's like a Vanna White kind of thing.
Yep. And that'll work if you're betting that kind of style.
Correct.
But if you're betting $2, you can't stand next to the machine and be like, hey guys, we're gonna get the bonus. Because there's 1 billion videos like that out there.
So I'm going to chime in. So Miranda just said, my favorite story is when Kobe told him to calm down and be quiet, and he responded with, hey, it's not a library.
I think that was on a live stream.
But yeah, so I had a chance last year during Kino Nation 5, on the quiet mornings like the day after, he's at the Palms. I walk on, oh my God, there's VLR. And we talked, he finishes, oh my God, baby G's and blah, blah, blah. He does all his little fun little stick, and he was playing one of the games, and it ended. And I go, how's it going, man? I just want to say I love your work in this net. I go, what else do you do for league? He goes, dude, I do this. I go, oh my God. But he's so quietly humble off camera that the persona on camera, he's just an approachable dude, and he knows what he's doing, and he's making a big living because his views are in the hundreds of thousands every time he puts out something. And if you guys don't know how it works, is they attach ads to your videos, and the more ads that get seen by the more viewers, you get pennies on the dollar, but those pennies add up very rapidly based on the views. And am I saying anything wrong, Mike?
What is it, like I think YouTube's around $7 to $10 per 1,000 views.
Correct. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're getting 600,000 views, there's your $7 to $10 times.
You're getting 10 million views a month on YouTube.
Yeah.
How many are qualified? I don't know, but probably a good chunk of them are. So you got 1,000 views, and your revenue times that by whatever the RPM.
Yeah. So let's say you have 500,000 views and you're getting $7 to $10 every 1,000. Do your own math. That's on a video. That's per video. It's crazy. So they're making high six figures.
Then it's the residual. How many videos you got out there are still getting watched?
Right.
So and he's been doing it a long time.
Mrs. Kobe says, in my defense, sometimes those are old videos and I don't want to draw attention. I just get shut down. So fun. I corrected it for you because she wrote shit down, but she did the typo. Kobe, I'm the king of typos, so I understand. I knew exactly what you meant. It's hilarious. So you have a thing here, and I want to make sure it said his notes were amazing, family, this and that. But the biggest note you wrote about was your advice to people who are considering doing this, and you wrote a long paragraph about what if you're considering doing this, just talk about it, because you said earlier, and you briefly said about it, if you're doing this to make a bunch of money, you need to rethink your stance right off the bat.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
My biggest thing to tell somebody if they want to do this is record for 3-4 months to see if you actually like doing this. Don't post any videos.
Yeah.
Just record. Because a lot of people go to the casino to relax and have, just downtime, right? I go there now, and it honestly feels like a job some nights. Well, it
Yeah.
is actually, and we'll look at each other and be like, we're gonna record this one, and that right there is probably our. We've already learned
Oh
our
my
lesson
God.
from that because our best video is we hit the grand jackpot on Dragon Link. It has 2.4 million views on Facebook. We almost didn't record it. It was 2 in the morning. We were wore out, tired, just down to $50. And she's like, "I'll record it." Thank God she did.
Yeah. If I can interject 1 second, Spanglish, Vanessa, love you to death. $20 super chat. Good morning, Bubba, and everyone in the chat. Lolo is Michael's favorite. Let's be honest. Um, in all seriousness, Michael is a kind, supportive, and funny amigo. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for the
Gracias.
support, Vanessa.
Gracias.
She's awesome. You're awesome. I know we had to cancel. I'm sorry, we'll not cancel. We postponed your because she was going to lead out 2024, which she'd be our first guest. But life, life gets in the way once in a while, right? So she had some sad news that happened to her recently. So she's taking a break from the whole YouTube and social media thing. But we'll get her back on because if you guys have never seen Spanglish on her channel and her videos, a bundle of positive energy and just fun to be around. I've hung out with Vanessa probably at least 10 or 12 times at certain events, and she is just, I can't speak high.
Some people are made to be in front of a camera. She's one of them.
She's one of them. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't think. Um, so what, my wife winning one of your shirts, Major Chasers, what was the creativeness about behind that created also now your Facebook is just taken off?
Well, I needed a place where people could see our videos.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made something game specific.
Can I interrupt? Mrs. Gamblers Unknown. Kobe just said, let's be honest, Olga is his favorite.
Well, Olga sends me cookies.
Oh my God. Olga. Olga. Yes, that puts you to the top of the list, I would assume. If you haven't seen Olga's stuff on Facebook, she posts her meals and what she cooks every night. It's off the charts. It's really cool. Anyway, Major Chasers.
The reason behind that was just start a group, game specific, not for me, because no one's looking for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this way, people could get to know me and our videos through that group. And I really don't shove them in there constantly, maybe one or two a week. And I just try to interact with everybody in the group.
Yeah.
And some people like our stuff because we bet what they bet. There's a market for that. There's a market for ultra low bets. There's a market for the super high bets. People will watch if they like your personality. It's more personality than bet size.
The logo is so widely known. I listen to a lot of R&B music, and it's actually coined in one of the rap songs. Which I'm not Major Chasing yada yada yada. Just so you know, it's in music now. I don't know if you've
Send me the song. I never heard it.
somebody it's copyrighted, right?
I don't think so. I never did.
Oh my gosh, Mike, you're missing an opportunity because that name, when I got started, I got advice from my nephew.
I didn't make that. A friend of mine did.
Really?
Yeah.
But the term is it's yours, I'm assuming. Just because we made this, I have a business account that's tied to this, and just so you guys know, and to prove Mike's point, I make about $60 a month. I'm not killing, and it doesn't even pay the bills, and then certain things when we go live, we do better when we go live because of all the interaction and stuff like that, and all the support, and like from all the guys that do super chat. That's when the revenue goes up to about 200 that month. But I'm not making money at this. I'm just having a blast, and I think that comes off our viewers in the Keener Nation crowd. We're such a fun loving crowd, and we're all over the country. I think I'm relatable. I'm a normal guy just goofing off on camera. And I say dumb stuff, and I think we all say dumb stuff from time to time. I don't edit anything. I don't edit a thing. That's who I am. And I'm not saying people who edit are right or wrong. I'm just saying I don't edit. I don't fault anybody who has success. A lot of guys give Brian Christopher crap because he's made a business out of this, and there's a whole negative thing going to him. The guy was the first guy to do it in reality at the biggest level. Great for him. He's made a business out of it. He's got cruise ships that have cruises with his name. There's slot machines with his picture on it. How can you fault a guy who put his time in? I don't know. I'm not a friend. Never met him in my life. I don't fault a guy for having success. I cheer for everybody out there. I cheer for Mike. I cheer for all these guys. I cheer for all my viewers. Why wouldn't you?
Just because you don't like watching somebody or don't like respect what they did. Respect what they did.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
But he gets,
it's
yeah.
not easy building a channel and building everything up and being on camera constantly.
Yeah, but he's branded his face and his likability and his all it. You know, he went from doing $3 to $5 bets and doing these group pools at machines for like low stakes. The guy has a cruise ship. Hey, let's go get on the Carnival Cruise Line. They have, if you go to their cruise offers, there's 3 cruises to Australia with it. He's going to Australia with his name on the cruise ship with giant groups of people. Somebody's honking. They know you, Mike. There's your one neighbor. Their one neighbor went by and said hi. Yo Ange, she said the same thing. What did she say? I want to make sure because she said it right. Brian Chris has done amazing things with his genre. You're right, exactly right. Yo Ange is gonna. I'm trying to beg Yo Ange to get on here too because Yo Ange is an amazing YouTube channel. I met her one time and she's a blast. Yo Ange, I'm working on you. I sent you a text again. But yeah, it's just to go back to your thing, if you're doing this to make a living at it right now with what is it, 20,000+ slot channels, you're way behind. We're all behind.
And now you get the platforms that don't care that people are taking people's content and posting it up. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
TikTok and Facebook. Look, you can go on Facebook, search Vegas Matt. There's probably 30 people taking his videos and putting them up, making money off it.
And then they get views off because it's a cool thing to do. But
it's gross. These platforms need to start being held accountable, truthfully.
Right. All the funny guys. Here's a 20-minute video of all people making fun. Well, he just scrambled all those TikTok videos and morphed them into one YouTube video. It's all other people's content, and their views are in the hundreds of thousands because people like to laugh at people making, getting goofy, right? But it's not the original guy. It's the guy who's, there's so many channels, and it's not their fault, but they're taking advantage of loopholes in certain systems, and that's okay. Everybody finds their way. Anything else you want to add? I know football's just started, and I can't. We'll do another one and just talk just nothing but YouTube. But thanks you guys for coming out. It's been an hour, and I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And once again, it's Mike's birthday today, so I'll wish him happy birthday. Thank you so much for the support and the super chats and all you guys coming out. Make sure you share this out. We got Keno Nation 6 coming up in March. We've already have nearly 100 RSVPs, and we cap at 150. So make sure you get in there and get your RSVP and go to quickhandyslots.com/Keno Nation. The link's in there. It's on my channel. We shared it out too. We want to thank Mike for coming out today. Rob Z, a viewer next weekend on Sunday, November 12th. A lot of sports gambling stories and online gambling. You're going to love this one story about his online casino story. And right after that, November 19th, Steve and Daniel from Vegas Action, formerly Slotty D. Steve and Daniel are a lot of fun. A lot of table game. They're so fun, and I've met them multiple times. They're great people.
I didn't know they changed their name.
Yeah, it's Vegas Action now. They slot Slotty D because they used to be all slots, and now they're predominantly tables. So they changed their name, but they have this thing. So it says Vegas Action parentheses formerly Slotty D. They can't get rid of that because they have because they were known for Slotty D for so long, right? And then we finally locked up the date for a young lady who's a viewer of ours in the Philippines, Misty Mitch, on November 26th, the weekend before Thanksgiving. Misty Mitch will be live from the Philippines. It'll be a different time frame because we're, I think, 13 hours different. So I'm either go really, really late at night, so it's her morning, or early morning, so it's like late at night. We'll figure it out, but that's why it says to be determined for time frame. On December 10th, Chris and Lou are going to come out. We're going to go on a mini short Cabo cruise the December 1st weekend, so we'll miss that Sunday, but we'll come right back. Chris and Lou, who were scheduled, and they had a family emergency, but they're back. They're hooked up for December 10th. And then on January 21st, Gambling Mitzi, one of our new channels that are out there, talk about her stories. She's around the 400 or 500 subscribers list. Want to go out and talk about her YouTube experience. And on January 28th, Jennifer Nakayama, she's the president and CEO of the Oklahoma City Tourism Council. I think I'm saying that right. There's a lot of title there. She's going to talk about all the upgrowth of Oklahoma City and casinos and all this the tourism stuff there. And I've known her she used to work in San Diego with me. But the story, she's going to brag about Oklahoma City. So we're getting bigger and bigger, and our reach is going out for all different genres. If you'd like to see what you watch today, please hit the like and subscribe, share this out, let's spread this out. By the way, Renee Donovan's now in the chat. Renee Donovan, one of our big supporters, and I want to make sure I admit this out. She went to Vegas to pick up a free cruise from the casino, and she's hit $16,000, two royal flushes, a bunch of 4 with an ace. She's had an amazing weekend. Congratulations, Renee. I couldn't help but brag about you earlier.
I need a weekend like that.
Oh my God. She went out there with a couple bucks just to get this free cruise. And on her first $100 bill, she had a $2,000 hand pay on 4 aces with a kicker. And then like 10 minutes later, she had a royal flush for $4,000. And she's hit like 5 or 6 hand pays. Congrats to Renee. Mike, great seeing you, man.
Always fun talking to you.
I appreciate it, man. Hope all the best to you. Make sure you go to Gamers Unknown on YouTube and Facebook. Go to the Major Chasers group. Give him some love. She supports so many people. If you need advice, leave a message for him. He'll talk to you. He's so approachable, fun-loving guy. Go Eagles.
Yeah, we better win today.
Who do you got today?
Cowboys.
Oh my God, the big game.
Big game.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for coming out. See you guys next Sunday. Rob Z. Kino Nation 6, March 8th, 9th, and 10th. Love you. See you. Cash out, folks. Bye. Thanks, Mike. See you guys later. Have a good day, Mike.
All righty, see ya.
See you guys.